Hi, I'm Anna, the founder of Unibloom. I'm known as the Ice Queen at Ben& Jerry's for 10 years. I am a change maker for fair trade farmers in developing countries. I saw how happy they were when we paid a few pennies more for their ingredients and how they could send their kids to school. I'm a change maker for fair dairy cows living more outdoors in Europe, and I saw how that changed the milk that we provided to our ice cream. I'm also a change maker for LGBT plus rights in Poland, and we saw how people really want to get the same rights and equal rights, whoever they were. Also, I'm the refugees fighting for the refugees' right to work in Netherlands and saw how a job really impacted the rest of their life. At the same time, I was expected to deliver 10 times business growth across markets, which I loved, with small teams, high impact, and increasingly digitized tools. And here's what I saw. As sustainability became mainstream, the climate data exploded. Calculations got more complex, investment decisions slower, and progress towards future targets like science-based stalled because the trade-offs and the decision makers were way too complex to understand how much can we invest and how much can we kind of take on the bottom line, and how much will we grow with the new initiatives. It usually stalled because the data was not there and it was very low confidence on the most impactful changes we needed to do. We know the reality. Almost 90% of emissions sit with procurement. Around 70% of company spends flows through procurement. Yet procurement teams are asked for change without the tools, the data, or the collaboration they need. Sustainability, procurement, finance, sales, and leadership works in silos, and even more, the suppliers. Collaboration is talked about, but not enabled. This is a broken process. That's why I founded Unibloom. I have an amazing team behind the scenes who are all data, scientists, and AI experts. We build the tools that help teams make the trade-offs visible, work together across departments and suppliers, and turn climate ambition into real cost-effective actions. No more stalled decisions, no more guesswork. This is how change actually happens productively. I will show you within the next 1 minute how USwitch can help your team and your company to be much more productive, much more efficient in the analysis phase and also collaboration phase to drive the shifts you need towards future goals, climate goals, business goals, and resilience across the supply chain. So, are you ready for the switch? Let's enter a material or an ingredient in this case. We talk about the soybean oil, we talk about dog food, and we talk about, for example, flavoring or proteins. So I would say protein source. Then we would like to find a sustainable options. So we press the find more sustainable options. The engine behind this analyze, scrape through the web, and in the pro version, scrape through Unibloom's unique databases. And this takes just maximum a few minutes. You can take a coffee, go for a toilet break, or just stand up and shake your legs while you're waiting. So you start to see your starting point where you started to want to analyze. Then you want to compare the different options to see from a cost perspective and a carbon perspective what the current ingredient you want to change has for alternatives. You can see that actually it changed from soybean oil to micro oil, sunflower oil, or insect lipid. I can also, in the pro version, just change location or change your supplier. You will also see the option for the lowest cost, and then you can go into detail to see what's the feasibility of each of those different solutions, where can you find them, and how easy is it to implement them. You can see from a cost perspective and a carbon perspective. You can see a short description also about it and what the source of the information is. You go through all of the solutions and you get 3 in the free version, and then you upgrade to get more solutions in the more pro version. And this is your best match recommended by highest emission reduction, but you also have an option where you can see the highest cost savings. Here's a bit more explanation of the solution in itself. And you can also refine the results in our pro version, where you can iterate and ask more questions easily. Then you're thinking of, how does my current supplier meet those criteria? Always good to have a few options on hand if your current supplier can't meet those requirements. Then we have provided 3 different suppliers that match your criteria. And you can always iterate and ask for different suppliers depending on where you want to source from and if you have other criteria in the pro version again. But here are 3 basic suppliers that you can reach out to and look at their websites to just compare to your current supplier. So you have more influence on hand, more information on hand. Then you might say, actually, all of those solutions are more expensive, but Europe is, and the world is, in many cases, are having green transition funds, that many of those new materials, new ingredients, transition to better transportation or packaging has different grants or fundings, but usually we just miss them out, or it's very complex to apply for them. So here you can find different subsidies that are applicable for your transition solution you want to look at, or your switch that you want to make. Then you can share it with others. So just a click and you share it in an email and engage others, either it's suppliers or internal teams, and send it out to them. And you can also download a PDF to have it there. In our future, or in our pro version, you have business case, create presentations, and you can also save the projects towards the climate transition plan, which is the wider platform where you can compare, prioritize, and build all your different actions into a climate transition plan. We hope you're engaged to test out this very, very easy way to start building out your transition plan across procurement, across your suppliers, and across the whole company in a very simple, non-climate expert way, where everyone understands what it means for taking action and what it costs and what emission it can reduce. Welcome to join us.